Hey guys, before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So let's get started. Hey everyone, so in this video, I found an article online that talks about things frugal people don't do. And I saw another YouTuber actually look at this article and kind of compare what they have in this to what she does in her daily life. That's what this video is going to be about. Let's get started. So this article talks about things frugal people don't do. So the wording is a little bit odd, but we'll kind of go through it. So I'm going to be totally honest with if I do these things or if I don't do these things. So hopefully we can have a little bit of fun with it and maybe even see if I can improve on something myself. So let's get started with it. So the first thing is skip budgeting. This is absolutely true. I do not skip budgeting. I make sure that I have a budget for everything and I do not want to spend too much money because the more money that I have, the more money I can actually invest and then have the money work for me. I actually do not skip budgeting. I get a check on this one. The next thing that people that are frugal do not do is eat out more than once a week, and I definitely don't do this. If I do eat out, it's probably once every couple weeks, and by eat out, I mean I go to Taco Bell or something like that, because that is kind of my treat. I love Taco Bell, but I don't even do that very often. I don't remember the last time that I went to Taco Bell. It's probably been about a month ago. The majority of the food that I eat is prepared at home. And number 3 is ignore their credit score. I definitely do not do this. I look at my credit score almost religiously. I've been doing it lately every single day because I ended up having an issue with, maybe I'll share it in another video, but your credit score can affect a lot of things for you. So if your score goes too low, you may not be able to get a loan that you need. So credit scores mean a lot, and that is something that you need to keep an eye on, and that is something I absolutely do. Next we have pay full price, and no, I don't I don't like to do that. Anything on sale, anything used, haggle, I definitely don't like to spend money on full price anything. And number 5 is spend time doing nothing. In this article, it states that some people get bored and they just browse and look at different websites for shopping, things like that. I don't. I stay pretty busy. I actually have to do the opposite of that. I have to force myself to stop and relax, watch a movie. That way I don't get overwhelmed. You know, I have rentals, I have YouTube, and I have a full-time job. So I'm pretty much always busy. And this says frugal people never drive everywhere. For the most part, I don't walk places. Could I? Sure, I have a couple things down the street, but I really don't see the savings in the amount of gas that I would use once every week to go down the street for something. I literally live about a mile away from Kroger's, and I go to Kroger's a lot. I don't think I'd really save that much money doing that, even though I probably could. So no, I failed this one. I definitely don't walk a lot of places. I drive. All right, number 7, pay full price for cosmetics. I admit I never do that. So this doesn't really apply to me too much. I don't buy makeup or anything like that. The worst I do is probably buy cologne, and I don't go for the mega expensive stuff, so nope. And number 8, we have throw away anything that isn't trash. I think kind of what they're talking about is like clothing, things like that. And this is one of the things that I'm going to try to start doing. I would like to be a bit more minimal and be a bit more of a minimalist. Certain things I can't. I have a lot of tools and I build things, so with that I can't go totally minimal on that, but clothing, things like that, I would like to do more of. So I'm starting to purge, and this is something I think about. I have a lot of old clothes that absolutely nobody would want, and it is absolutely trash. And then I have some clothes that are almost brand new, but I just never wear it. And a frugal person would look at that and sell it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trash the stuff that absolutely I wouldn't give away to anybody. And then I'm going to look at trying to sell some of my other things. The next one is get annoyed when prices drop. You know, a lot of places, if you buy a new TV and then a few days later, if that price drops, you can go back and they will give you that price difference. So I don't really know about this one too much. So let's just move on. Number 10. Pay attention to brand names. Now, I absolutely do not do this. I really don't care, especially when it comes to shopping. Most of my stuff is not brand name, it's store name. So if I go to Kroger's, I'm not buying Chef Boyardee, I'm buying Kroger brand. Absolutely, check on this. Don't care about brand names. Number 11, be scared to invest. I think investing is scary because everything is a risk. But if you go into it having that understanding, it will force you to do a little bit more research and make your risks a little bit less risky, if you will. With my investments, I've done rentals and do things in the stock market, things like that. So yeah, you cannot be scared to invest if you want to be frugal, because that's going to pay off in the long run. Keep cable. I totally win this. I have not had cable in about 15 years. I do, however, have internet service. I have Prime from Amazon because I do like to watch movies. I am kind of a movie buff in some ways, even more so when I was younger, but I do not have cable, and I will not be getting cable anytime soon. Number 13, shop at the last minute. I do this. Like Christmas time comes around and I'm looking on Amazon, so I'm guilty. X on that one. Number 14, spoil their children. Well, I can absolutely say I do not spoil my children. Of course, I do not have any children, so go me. I don't think I spoil my children. Okay, number 15, buy bottled water. This is a fail on me. I do buy bottled water. I buy the cheap version, Meyer brand, and really the reason I buy this is not for taste or anything like that. It's more of a convenience because I do take my lunch to work and I work daily 6-7 days a week. And this is convenient because I do like to get these little packets that I can drop in here and make a few different mixtures in the same day. So I could fix this. This is something I probably need to work on, but I do buy bottled water. I think I get quite a large pack for like $2 and something of these. And if I wanted to make them last, I could probably make a mark on it and fill it up with regular water and put it in my bag. But I do kind of fail on this, but this is kind of more of a convenience due to me taking my lunch to work. Number 16, ignore small health issues. I'm guilty of this. When I get sick, I don't like going to the doctor because it seems like in my life, every single time that I've needed to go to the doctor, I've had to have a surgery, broke foot, screw put in it, pain in my stomach, hernia surgery. It's just, there's always been something like that. So I kind of hate going to the doctor. So I'm definitely guilty of this. Really don't want to mess around with your health. You always want to keep an eye on yourself and make sure you're doing okay. So this is something I need to do better on. 17, upgrade their phone every year. Definitely don't do this. Don't like spending money on a phone. I did get a phone this year and you're actually watching me on the phone. The only reason I got this phone is I was going to change over to a different company. And since they were changing over to 5G, the phone that I had would not work on their network. So I was kind of in no man's land. So I had to absolutely get a new phone in order for this to work. So when I did get a new phone, I use my phone at work all the time and I wanted to get one with a nice camera. Being frugal, the idea behind that is I use this for YouTube and I will be able to make a little tax deduction off of that because I use it for professional use. So new phone and tax deduction. 18, delay repairs. This is something I kind of do at my own home. I kind of delay things because if I know that it's something I can work on, then I'll work on it. However, at my rental properties, I don't do that. I make sure that things are repaired as soon as I possibly can because an air conditioner goes out or if there's an electrical issue, it can cause more problems, make tenants angry, and then cause you more headache in the long run. So delay repairs, yeah, you don't want to do that. Number 19, start a half full dishwasher. I definitely don't do this because I don't have a dishwasher. I wash dishes by hand, so check that one for me. Buying something just because it's on sale. No, I absolutely don't do this. If it's something that I'm going to use eventually or something that I need versus something that I just want, big difference. I don't buy anything just because it's on sale. Whenever I buy anything, there has to be a purpose behind it. Yeah, I do not do that. 21, borrowing money. There's an idea that being frugal, you make sure you pay everything with cash. That way everything is paid off. You have less and less debt. And for this, I don't really totally agree with this. I do borrow money. There's a couple of rentals that I have that I borrowed money on, and I do not have any intention to pay them off early. My plan is to acquire money from cash flow from my varying income streams and then buy another rental property, partially with my down payment as well as partially from borrowed money. And so some people, they do like the idea of not necessarily getting into rentals or things like that, but they like the idea of having absolutely no debt. And this just comes down to what your goals are in life. You want to have no debt and then work and be fine with your retirement because now you can put more into your retirement and maybe retire early that way. Or someone like me where I want to gain more income streams and have more passive income. And at that point, there are ways to do it where you need to borrow money. So this is kind of what I'm doing and that's my strategy. So everybody's going to have a different strategy for that. 22, spend emotionally. I guess there's a few different ideas of this. Maybe somebody got something that you like or that you wanted. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive than what you would normally pay, but you're like, oh, they got it. And now you're kind of attached to it and you're emotional about it because you really want it. I think frugal people will know to sit on it and think about it. And this is what I've done. I would actually love to have a new truck, but I've been looking at trucks for over a year now, so I don't think I'm going to get a truck anytime soon because I constantly see that price and I look at that and say, well, that's not going to help my goal, and that's to be more and more financial independent. So I think the main thing with that is no matter how you are, sleep on it, think about it. That way you're not going to spend emotionally and you'll spend more thoughtfully. 23, so this is a nice little tidbit. Have empty freezers, because the more empty a freezer is, the more it's actually going to cost you money to keep it cold, right? Because there's more space that it has to cool. I do have a freezer. Thing is absolutely packed. So I definitely passed this one. I also have a pantry that I have food in it. So there's a couple of different reasons for that. It's not just because of the price savings, but I like the idea of having something if for some reason I go into a bad time and I need food and I don't have money, and this is always playing in the back of my mind. It's me being prepared for something bad. That's why I have a stocked freezer and a pantry. 24, they never window shop. For me, this is absolutely true. I personally hate going to the mall. I don't like it. I don't like walking around and seeing all these different things. It doesn't really do anything for me, but I think that's become more of a habit. The way that I work is if I feel I need something, say for instance, my day job, if I have a tool break and I need to buy something, then I will kind of window shop. I'll browse on Amazon and different stores and see where I can find the best price for that tool, then I'll buy it. But then that's that thoughtful purchase and not just window shopping and accidentally maybe buying something that you wasn't looking to buy, something that you don't need, and just buying to buy. Number 25, buy too much house. Absolutely, I do not do this. The house that I live in is a small 2-bedroom. It's around 900 square feet, and this does a couple things for me. The cleaning is very easy. Small house, not much cleaning, so that saves you time. Heating, cooling, that's going to be way cheaper than if I had a house that's twice as big, 1,800 square feet or more. It's not about what you can afford. It's about getting into a spot where you're living below your means so you can create more money for yourself. And that's what I'm doing every month. And that's one of the ways that you can save money is to have less house. I don't need a big house. I need a room to sleep in and a bathroom to do business. So that's about it. Number 26, spend money every day. I have not spent a dime today, and I did not spend a dime yesterday, and I don't think I spent any money over the weekend. So I think a lot of this stuff, as far as frugality goes, is it becomes habit, and you just have no reason to buy things unless you've thought about it previously. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Also, if you do have problems with spending, start creating challenges, which is one of the things that this article talks about, is create a 5-day challenge where you literally buy nothing. If you have groceries in your house, you cannot go grocery shop. You must deal with what you have and eat what you have. So I think that's a good way to create a habit. Make small goals and then succeed in those goals and build from that. So I think that's a good one. Buy expensive coffee daily. No, I have coffee and tea that I make here at the house, and so I definitely don't do that. I don't go to Starbucks all the time. Number 28, here's a big one. Throw away leftovers. I grew up on leftovers. I mean, we would make something one day and then it lasted us the whole week. So I've known people who throw away leftovers. I mean, they'll make a big lasagna or what have you, eat half of it and then throw the rest away. Drives me insane how you can waste so much. Even the food that I do throw away, that is maybe there's a few bites on the plate or something goes bad in the refrigerator. I have chickens out back and then I give them food that I'm not going to eat, and then they make me more food, fresh food with eggs. I'd never throw away leftovers. As long as it's edible, I'm eating it. Number 29, pay someone when they could DIY. This is totally me. If you've watched some of my other videos, I've told you that I have another YouTube channel called the Kai Projects where I do a lot of DIY things. And it talks about how frugal people are kind of a jack of all trades, and it kind of makes sense with me doing my own projects, and kind of the work that I do is fixing machines and things like that. So yeah, stop paying people for basic things that you could look up on YouTube and do yourself. It'll do a few things. It will save you money. It will make you more skilled and more thoughtful and more willing to try to do more DIY projects, which is just going to help you out more and more. Number 30, pay bank fees. I do not pay any bank fees. I make sure that I have a free savings, free checking, all that. And I have a few different bank accounts, one for my rentals, my personal savings, checking. I have another checking account where my money from Google AdSense goes into, but I make sure that all of that is absolutely free, because why in the world do I want to work and then give somebody money for hanging on to my money? That makes no sense. So if you pay any fees with your bank, see how you can get into an account where you do not pay any of that. Number 31, pay late fees. Yeah, that's a big one. Anytime that you're late on payments, then that's going to cost you even more money. So it's really about keeping up to date, and I do not pay late fees. I make sure that my credit cards are all paid on time. That's a big one. Make sure you do not get yourself in a situation where you're paying late fees and you're behind, and then you're just throwing money out the window. Buy convenience foods. So as this says, maybe you're going into a convenience store and you buy some chips, you buy some pop, what have you. I'm sort of guilty of this every now and then, not very often. I think I might stop in there and get me a drink or some chips. I think the last time I did it was like a month and a half ago. So am I guilty of that? I don't know, but it's not something that I do daily or very often. But yeah, those will usually be a little bit more pricey than Kroger, Meijer, Aldi, wherever you're shopping. Number 33, ignore clearance racks. I definitely don't do this. And if you watch some of my other videos, I shop a lot at Goodwill or Salvation Army. I don't even shop that much, but if I do, that's where I go first. And then a lot of these places have days where certain marked items are going to be on sale for that day. I will look for that marking to see if that item's on sale so I can get a better price at Salvation Army. Those are some of the things that you want to think about and look at, and that goes for even at your grocery stores. They'll have discount items that are getting ready to expire, but they're still absolutely edible, and they're just going to throw them out so you can get 40% off. Absolutely do that. I do that. Frugal people don't skip free events. I love free. I remember they had in our town an orchestra come in an outdoor area, and it was absolutely free. It was awesome. So look in your town, see what free events that they show, and that will save you money. Maybe it's good for a date, and that will save you money. Yeah, absolutely do that. That's awesome. Skip free events. Number 35, buy big ticket items without comparing. I compare everything, small, big, it does not matter. Bought some dishes the other day. Those are the first dishes I bought ever in my life. But I bought some dishes and I looked at them on Amazon, and then I was at Meijer, and then they were cheaper at Meijer, and then they were 15% off at Meijer. So those are the ones that I got. Yeah, you always want to make sure you price compare, and I kind of take it a step farther. This says big ticket items like TVs, cars, things like that. I price compare everything. And last but not least, number 36, try to live someone else's life. And I think this is an absolutely wonderful thing to talk about, because it's like keeping up with the Joneses. Why are you trying to live the life that somebody else is living? The thing is, you never know what struggles they're in. What I mean by that is maybe they bought that truck and they are literally having to work overtime every single week just to afford the payment. Truck looks nice, but now they're struggling. That's the things that nobody is really going to tell you. You really don't know what's going on in their life. So I would much rather be in a position of safety other than keeping up with the Joneses. Not buy that expensive car that I don't need for something I can't afford. That goes back to that emotional spending. You do not want to do that. Don't always try to keep up with everyone else. Just live your life. And guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you like, hopefully you share, and I appreciate you watching. So until next time, take care.